Thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host. Just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. NFL Week 14. Should be an exciting week. We've got some big teams off. The Ravens are off this week. Also, the Lions-Packers game. It was a good game. It was not a financially great game for us as Jaden Reed got completely forgot about. St. Brown didn't get a ton of touches after he had 2 catches in the first drive. Still only ended up with 5 receptions in that one. Goff did throw for a couple touchdowns, and Jordan Love was under constant pressure. So they ran the ball a ton late, so we didn't cash with those. But that's okay. It does happen on Thursday. Sometimes those standalone games can be vicious. They just happen to sneak up us on that one. We'll get it back here with the rest of the card on Sunday and Monday. But let's get started because we got a full one here. 1 o'clock Eastern time frame windows where we'll start first. Panthers at the Eagles. Eagles favored by 13.5. Biggest bet so far, one of the biggest bets this season. $3.1 million did come in on the Eagles straight up at minus 750. Only pays like 450 grand, but when it's 13.5 point line, it's still a 13.5 point line, right? So what do we expect to happen here? Well, the Eagles, if they were going to throw the ball at all much, it would have been last week against the Ravens, against that horrible pass defense. You can run the ball on the Panthers, therefore we expect them to run the ball there. The Panthers they've played pretty decently. They haven't won games lately, but they've been keeping some stuff close. Staying within a score on this one. No side or total for us in this one, just a bunch of player props. And we'll be good there. Bryce Young over 196.5 pass yards. Adam Thielen, 46 plus receiving yards. Chuba Hubbard, 54 plus rush yards. And Chuba Hubbard, 14 plus rush attempts. And then Saquon, we're also going to play over 20.5 rush attempts. Like I said, we expect Saquon to run the ball quite a bit. Don't know about the yards. He should get, I would think, if he's going to get 21 attempts, he'll probably get over that 100 mark. But we do like the rush attempts a little bit better than the yards on that one. Next game up, Raiders-Bucks in Tampa. Tampa, 6.5 point favorite as Tampa makes their run, try to win the NFC South. The Raiders are making their run to see how high of a pick they can get. Aiden O'Connell at the helm there for the Raiders. I feel bad for guys like Max Crosby. Obviously, they get rid of Devontae Adams. Jacoby Myers has played decently. They don't have a run game. Their offensive line's not that great. The one standout that they have definitely this year, besides on the defensive side of the ball, has been Brock Bowers. Bowers has been fantastic. I know he's probably not going to win Rookie of the Year due to the quarterbacks, but when you really look at his offensive production, he should be up there. Everybody criticized the Raiders for taking him with Michael Mayer already on the roster, but he is a matchup nightmare for almost every team out there and does get his yards. That all being said, we do like the Bucks here quite a bit. Bucks minus 1.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, 6.5 for the game. Baker for 241 plus passing yards. Bowers for 70 plus receiving yards. Evans, 69 plus receiving yards. Also Mr. Mike Evans, 5 plus receptions. And then Max Crosby to get at least half a sack. Next game up, Falcons-Vikings. So Kirk Cousins headed back to Minnesota to play a game in Minnesota. Minnesota favored 5.5, 6 points, depending on where you're looking, 45.5 total. The Falcons have just been so hard to get a beat on. Are they a running team? Are they a passing team? Is Kirk Cousins going to throw 3 or 4 picks? Is he going to have a flawless game? The Vikings, on the other hand, you pretty much know what you're going to get. Darnold's going to throw probably for 230 to 270, somewhere in that range. Aaron Jones is going to have somewhere between 60 and 90 yards. And they're going to blitz the living shit out of you on the defensive side of the ball. The question is do they get home? When they get home, they make life impossible for the other quarterbacks. When they don't get home, they get beat. Pretty much how the Flores defense works on that one there. Cousins coming home, a little bit of a, revenge game. I don't think it's really a revenge game. He's the one that left. We don't like a side or a total in here on this one. The Falcons are just too freaking hard to read on what they're going to give you on a weekly basis. So player props for us in this one. Kirk Cousins over 241.5 passing yards. Also for 35 plus pass attempts. The Minnesota's done pretty well against the run, so we expect them to have to throw the ball quite a bit. Justin Jefferson over 83.5 receiving yards. Darnell Mooney for the Falcons, 5 plus receptions, 51 plus receiving yards. And TJ Hawkinson for the Vikings, 4+ receptions, as he should be open quite a bit, I would assume, over the middle against that Falcons defense. Next game up, Browns, Steelers. This is a game we would love to pounce on. Browns did just beat the Steelers. No, now they're headed to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, 6.5-point favorite. This is going to be by far their easiest opponent left on the schedule. As the rest of they've got the Bengals, the Ravens, the Chiefs. They are backloaded on their schedule. They did cash their over 8.5 win total last week. Thank you, Pittsburgh Steelers, for that. We greatly appreciate it. Now, like I said, they got the Browns, 6.5-point favorite, 43.5 total. We'd love to play him here, but we're going to stay away on this one. Those division games can be a little tight, so we'll just play player props here. Russ Wilson over 225.5 pass yards. Pickens over 69.5 receiving yards. Njoku over 44.5 receiving yards. Njoku 6+ receptions and Pickens 5+ receptions. Njoku's definitely the short yardage target for Jameis. If nothing's open downfield, he tends to check it down to Njoku. Pickens last week did not get the receptions, but got the yards. Is going downfield. I expect Russ to target him maybe a little bit more. It's not extremely easy to run the ball on Cleveland, even though Pittsburgh will definitely give it more than an effort to run the ball. But we should see Pickens be able to go down the field and make some snatches. Next game up, we're still at that 1 o'clock time frame window. Jets, oh my God, they're absolutely god-awful. Travel to Miami to play the Dolphins. Dolphins have looked decently. Unfortunately, probably going to miss the playoffs due to the Tua injury. That was just absolute barn burner killer for them. The Jets have folded up shop and looking forward to next year. Who would thought with these two teams at this record, the Dolphins would still be favored by damn near a touchdown, favored by 6.45 total. We like Miami quite a bit in this one. You can grab 5.5s at some spot as well, which we grabbed. Dolphins -0.5 in the first quarter, 3.5 in the first half, 5.5 for the game. Tua 253+ passing yards, Tua 2+ passing touchdowns. Tua over 33.5 pass attempts. Now, normally, last couple of years, it would have been Tyreek, right? If you've noticed, that Tyreek injury is causing some discomfort or something where he's not definitely the main target. Actually, the main target's been Jonnu Smith, and we're playing him 5+ receptions and 50+ receiving yards. We're also going to play Waddle for 4+ receptions as well in that one. Next game up, and the last, and it should be, we've got 2 more games at the 1 o'clock Eastern window. Saints travel to New Jersey to play the Giants at MetLife Stadium. Saints 5-point favorite against the Giants, and Drew Lock is projected to be your starting quarterback there. Taysom Hill out for the rest of the season, so Kamara and MVS are going to have to carry a lot of the offensive load here for the Saints. Like I said, Saints favored by 5, 41 total. This is a straight fade of the Giants. It's not necessarily we have a lot of confidence in the Saints, but Giants are definitely trying to play for the number 1 pick. Give us the Saints -0.5 first quarter, -3 first half, and -5 for the game. Drew Lock to throw a pick. No shocker there, right? MVS over 34.5 receiving yards. We think he can get that with 1 catch. Kamara over 18.5 rush attempts. His line on rush yards has gotten pretty substantial, so therefore we're just going to play the rush attempts. I think he runs the ball more than 20 times. Against the Giants, they do give up some yardage on the ground. And it should be, I would think, pretty smooth sailing there, as there's not going to be a lot of offense coming from the Giants there for the Saints to get a win. Next game up, in the last game of that 1 o'clock Eastern time frame, Jaguars and the Titans. Jags travel to Nashville. No Trevor Lawrence. He's out for the rest of the season. Mac Jones in at quarterback. And if you've seen Mac Jones playing the couple games for Trevor this season, you're probably with me on saying, oh my God, could he look even worse than he did with New England? And the answer is yes. 40 is the total in this one. We really like the Titans in this one. I honestly don't know how the Jags put up any offense whatsoever. The Titans will figure out how to let them have some offense. That's the one thing the Titans seem to do. Even on a game where they get up early, they let other teams back in. But give us the Titans -0.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3 for the game. Will Levis, 211+ pass yards. Mac Jones to throw a pick. Calvin Ridley, 5+ receptions and 65+ receiving yards is how we're playing that one. Then we get into the 2 o'clock my apologies, 4 o'clock Eastern time frame window. We've got we got what, 3 games here, and then we got the Sunday night and Monday night game to go through. Seahawks and the Cardinals battling for first again. Seahawks currently have the lead. They're getting 3 on the road in Phoenix or Glendale or whatever you want to call it, Arizona. 44.5 total. So the Cardinals have been god awful at home, and now they finally won a couple games at in their own house. The Seahawks, it's been a little crazy. Now, I will say this. The Cardinals' defense is god-awful, but for some reason, they've looked halfway decent over the last 3 to 4 weeks. They haven't allowed a ton of points. Now the offense is starting to struggle. The Seahawks' defense is getting healthier, getting better, and we expect the pass game to be pretty strong against the Cardinals. They should be able to run the ball as well, so maybe this makes the Seahawks a little bit more balanced, and when they're balanced and Geno has time to throw and play action pass, he can be pretty deadly down the field. DK Metcalf normally has monster games against the Cardinals, and we're going to be betting on that one. Give us the Seahawks. We're going to take we're actually, instead of taking the points, we're going to play money line first quarter, money line first half, and money line for the game. Geno for 254 passing yards plus. DK Metcalf, 5+ receptions, 63+ receiving yards. We're also going to sprinkle some on 100+ receiving yards. And an anytime touchdown for DK as well. Like I said, DK normally has really good games against the Cardinals, and we kind of expect one here. We just pray that he stays healthy for the whole game. Next game up, Buffalo Bills and the Rams. Rams getting 3.5 at home at SoFi, 49.5 total here. Obviously, the Bills have been smoking hot, no question about it. They come off the snow game where they win 35-10 against San Francisco. They've looked really, really good. The Rams, the problem pretty much the whole season for the Rams boils down to this. First quarter and first half have been god-awful. They have been just god-awful. They're coming from behind every damn game. And with a team that really likes to run the ball with Kyren Williams, I understand they have Puka, they have Cooper, they've got weapons. They've also got an offensive line that's banged up that can barely hold up for Stafford to drop back. And as Stafford gets older, not as mobile anymore. So what do we like here? Normally we would play first quarter and first half, but we're not because it's the Rams and the way they've played so far this year. So we're just going to play the Rams plus 3.5. Then we're also going to play Shakir for the Bills, 5+ receptions and 55+ receiving yards, as he has definitely been a major target for Josh Allen, especially on the road. And we've seen Josh Allen at home a lot lately when they've been railing off wins. Now they got to go on the road where they have struggled a little bit. Kyren Williams, 16+ rush attempts, 67+ rush yards, and give us an anytime touchdown for Kyren Williams as well. Next game up, 49ers and the Bears. So obviously Bears fire Coach Eberflus. 49ers come off an absolute embarrassment against the Bills. Not only that, they lost both running backs, Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey. We've still got problems with Mr. left tackle being out. So now we're basically Purdy and Gary Endo is going to be your running back, primary back. And then receivers, we got Debo, we got Pearsall, we got Kittle, but they are missing some weapons all over the place. 49ers still favored by 3.5 here, as the Bears have sucked on the road and lately sucked at home as they continue just to spiral. One more loss from the Bears will lock up the under 8.5 wins as well on that one. No side or total for us in this one, just player props. We expect Purdy to have a big game here as we figure they're going to have to fire Purdy 225+ passing yards, Purdy 2+ passing touchdowns. Ricky Pearsall, we expect to show up in the offense here, 2+ receptions and over 18.5 receiving yards. And Gary Endo over 70.5 rush yards, as they will run the ball. I'm thinking they get up early here and then kind of, hammer away with the run game late. Gary Endo did have a pretty solid game replacing those two against the Bills as they were running the ball downhill. Unfortunately, couldn't put the ball in the end zone. Red zone is where this game's going to boil down to. If the 49ers put the ball in the end zone, this should be a cakewalk win. If they have to kick field goals and rely on Mr. Inconsistency, Jake Moody, that's where they can run into some issues here. We'll get to this Sunday night game. Chargers, Chiefs. So obviously, I understand the Chiefs have not looked as good as their record has so far this season. They have figured out ways to win in every damn game, it seems like, being at 11-1. They're 3.5, 4-point favorite here, 43 total. So they beat the Chargers earlier in the season in LA. They were 6.5-point favorite in LA, didn't cover as they won by a field goal, but they did get down 10-0 early. And the Chiefs, they're only 3.5, 4-point favorite here, and now they're at home. Okay. The Chargers last week on the road did not score an offensive touchdown, 3 field goals and a defensive touchdown to beat the Falcons. You're going to need more firepower than that to beat the Chiefs. I understand the Chiefs' offense hasn't been fantastic. Now, Pacheco's second week back. I think that does make a big difference for them. We got D-Hop, we got Kelsey going. Some opportunities there. Expect Mahomes to have a decent game. He's cut down the turnovers over the last few games as well. Give us the Chiefs in this one here. Chiefs -0.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. Mahomes 2+ passing touchdowns is plus money, folks. Remember when we couldn't get him last year for 3+ passing touchdowns? You couldn't even, it was -2 and some change to get him at 2+. Now all of a sudden he's plus money for 2+ passing touchdowns. Justin Herbert to throw a pick. Kelsey 6+ receptions and 55+ yards as he tends to own the Chargers. And then give us Ladd McConkey over 58.5 receiving yards as well. Then we'll get to the Monday night game. Everybody's just dying to watch this one, right? Bengals on the road at Big D against the Cowboys. 5.5-point favorite here for the Bengals. Cooper Rush still quarterback in the Cowboys. Joe Burrow, if he had a team that was competing for a division title, would probably be your MVP candidate when you look at the numbers he's putting up. But unfortunately, they are nowhere near that point. In fact, probably going to miss the playoffs. 49.5 total, like we mentioned as well. We're not taking a side or a total here, although home dog Monday night does sound awful tempting, especially that 5.5 number. But just player props for us currently. Burrow over 270 pass yards. Burrow over 36.5 pass attempts. Jamar Chase 80+ receiving yards. Mr. Tolbert for the Cowboys over 26.5 receiving yards. Dowdle over 65.5 rush yards. Ever since Cooper Rush has been the quarterback, all of a sudden Dowdle looks like a real back. And then give us Micah Parsons over 1/4 of a sack as well, so 1/2 a sack plus for Parsons. It's just been really interesting to watch. They did not even really attempt to run the ball with Dak Prescott. Just throw. Now with Cooper, they know they need to slow things down. They know they need to hand the ball off, and all of a sudden the run game kind of shows up. Now Connor Martin out for the season, the fantastic all-pro guard for the Cowboys. And to be really honest, the defense of the Bengals relies on one guy, and that's called Trey Hendrickson, who's had a monster season. But defensively, they are hurt all over the place. So both teams should be able to move the ball up and down the field. The question is going to be the short passing game for the Cincinnati, I think, is really, to kind of negate that pass rush. But there will be some 3rd and longs where I think Parsons will definitely have some opportunities to get a sack on Burrow. All right, so we just went through a ton of bets for NFL Week 14. How do we get a chance to take a look at all those bets? No problem whatsoever. We've got them posted online, multiple spots, TikTok and YouTube channel pages, as well at the end of every episode on YouTube. It's docs.google.com/spreadsheet. Bunch of other stuff behind it. Go to the football 24-25 tab. Scroll down to NFL Week 14. You'll be able to see all the bets that we just went through, what juice we got those at, how many units we wagered, also what book we placed them at for you to check out. So check that out when you do have some time. We have a ton of bets, and in fact, almost 100 bets for this NFL week. So if you want to keep up with all those, you're definitely going to need to take a look at those Google Sheets. Do you like the content that you're seeing here and like to see some more? We'd love to have you along for the ride. All you need to do is hit follow or subscribe, depending on the social media platform you're watching us on. We will show up in your followers or subscriptions tab, or make life simple for yourself and just turn on the notifications for that social media platform. You'll get a notification sent to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of Bets. And then I'll give you plenty of time to match those up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. Also, promo bonus bets available for everybody out there from our partners to you, online casinos, sports books, fantasy sites. All you need to do is check that link out. It's on a couple different spots online, TikTok and YouTube channel pages. It is bit.ly/sportsbetsforfree-bh. Once you click on that link, it automatically default the state that you're in and show you the available offers that we have. Also, private Discord channel available for everybody out there as well. All you need to do is subscribe to us through TikTok. You'll have a couple different option packages there. $6, $10, and $25 a month, depending on, $6 and $10 will get you all the bets. $25 will get you all the bets as well. Plus, we'll help set you up a betting structure depending on the size of your bankroll. We have so many plays. Obviously, most people can't keep up with the bankroll size. That's fine, no problem at all, but we'll set you up your own at the $25 per month range. It's cheaper than Netflix. And not only that, you're going to get ahead of the line moves, juice moves, and make some money in the process as well. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.